Thank you. So I'm not that good speaker as I'm good in payroll, so pardon my speech, so I will try my best. So myself, I am a payroll director for EMEA and APAC region at Nasdaq. However, today we will talk about Lithuanian site journey, how was it, and what experience we have. So just to understand what is Nasdaq globally, Nasdaq globally is well known as a stock exchange operator and a fintech company. And globally, we are about over actually 5,000 employees based in Americas, EMEA, and APAC region. And in Lithuania, site is the second biggest in Europe. And in Lithuania, we are over 400 employees today already, 5 legal entities. We also have regulated entities like Luminor, so a little bit more complexity adding. We have over 75 employees who work on a different variable shifts, 24 hours and diverse shifts, and including nights and weekends and everything. Also, additionally, over 150 employees who are regularly reporting, either overtime or just working on SWT shifts. So the picture is colorful, and to add to that, it's on that scope, 400 employees, we have over 100 international managers adding to that scope. So maybe in total numbers is not that big as many of you may be, but for us that was a big colorful Excel and Outlook, that almighty Excel, which was managing time reporting. And at that time, we had very basic leave reporting system, but basically no time reporting system, and we're managing everything in Excel. And this was a quite hard task, actually, because we had a very short timeline to manage that, and 1-2 days, basically, to collect all the hours overtime over email, get approvals, get international managers' approvals during that time. So basically, like we had an internal joke that you need to have a master degree to handle this Excel. Of course, we had master degrees in our teams, but nevertheless, we thought that we need a tool, actually. So we started leveraging possibilities, and we had some expectations, like every company probably, and what we needed is that from what we suffered most, this never-ending shift changes, overtime, nights, so the system should be user-friendly and easy for variable work shift creation, reporting, changing, because you plan to work, then you change that plan, and you need to report it again. So we were looking for a system who would be easy on that task. Regulations and limitations according to Lithuanian law. So there are a lot of country specifics when we need to when we have limited overtime per year, some uninterrupted rest period, so many things. So that was one of the goals. Another was notifications and reminders. Again, I refer to our international managers that we need to catch him at the right moment to make him approve the timesheet so that everything can be calculated and not to wait for the next run. Then customized reports. Probably every country, every company has their expectations to reports. We just had a chat with our colleagues from Thermo Fisher that reports are also one of the arguments of looking at the new vendor. So ours was as well. And then bilingual functionality. Of course, all functionality is in English due to our global phase. However, all automated orders, these are kind of printable orders, they should be in Lithuanian language. So whether it's a travel order or it's overtime or leave order, so we we print them in printing system that in Lithuanian, and integration with corporate and state tools. About integration, so like our scope, as I mentioned, is time and leave management module only, meaning having all a group scope, we have only that piece, and it may look only. So, but we actually had our well-built tools, corporate tools, and we needed just that one-off solution for Lithuania, but we wanted to integrate it. So first of all, it was Workday. Workday, as you know, master system for HR data, so we have all hires, terminations, position changes, manager changes, like everything what we actually need for time reporting. Concur, we use that for travel registration, so when an employee in Concur registered their travel, so these dates flow to HRB portal, and employee can assign a request for the travel time compensation. Then Sodra, all well-known Sodra for sick leave import, so that probably was the easy part. And then single sign-on, so we have onboarded this to our Okta page, so HRB portal is onboarded. Employees and managers doesn't need to log in, and this was also very important part, because we have a real situation joke when one international manager, when we granted him logins to some other country time reporting system, he said, "Oh, thank you, that's my time reporting tool, login number 9. I mean, he has so many international employees and he had logins everywhere. So this joke was our key driver, so that no logins, and we should go with a single sign-on. Challenges. I was asked to talk about challenges. So yes, we implemented one tool. Everyone was devoted. Us were devoted. A group was devoted, and of course we had challenges even with that one tool. So probably first was a balancing between written-in requirements gathering and what actually had in mind. So we talk, we describe, but still there are spaces where there is a gap. And I can say that a group, method or methodology, how to gather requirements and describe these requirements, have this on paper. This is great. Really, for me, I would say I have this as an etalon, working further with other companies, implementing other tools. And when I see how vendor is describing requirements, I know where we land. I mean, this is an etalon, how we did with a group, because everything was just done perfectly. However, still there were gaps. I mean, we are people. We have different, when we read and what we have in mind, it's totally not connected at some point. Workday data integration. So it took longer than any of the parties expected. And another challenge was that it was quite complicated to onboard some specifics. So for example, employee in Lithuania, maybe for legal reasons, hired in 2 legal entities. However, when we use Workday, since we use it globally, we don't have some country specifics. So employees hired here in 1 entity with reality in 2. So we need to make this data flow and right away create alert so that payroll professionals could do that split manually in the tool. What else? Maybe what to mention. Maybe time needed dedicated during implementation and after. We actually were warned about that. Everyone probably is warned about that from the previous experience, but you never get to understand what does it mean until you are there. upgrades, system upgrades. Like when you onboard the system, you are in that happy, I don't know, situation that now I'm done. So, but actually, it's like colleague said, like it's a marriage, like ups and downs. So you need, like if you brought a new upgrade, so look that it's break the existing functionality, and you need to look, you need to monitor. So this marriage, like we are in this marriage on and on and on, and just great that it's a great marriage. So other than that, you know. So probably after already some time, so we went live in 2020. It's 2 years already, and we may say that the tool is really great, really great. And since we have what to compare, we have other time reporting tools which we use globally. So this one is one of the best in what we have. And I think what led to success, so there are several elements. So online calls and project tracking. So this tracking and recording moment when every party knows what should be done by when and who is responsible, that was a key element. And probably what was what I like most in this slide, that a group never said no. I mean, you can come with any crazy idea, I mean, like just a dream or fantasy sometimes, and you know, and you can feel that enthusiasm, or even sometimes I would call passion, how to do that, and they think, rethink, call again, okay, this doesn't work, think again, and then we come with suggestions, then come with examples. So this was really great. And today, when already we are 2 years together, we really notice that moment that when we have some struggle in Workday, for example, or with Workday integration, so the bug or issue is not just solved, but the solution is found how to avoid that similar situation in future. Assign tasks. So involve as many assign tasks and colleague involvement. Involve people around you. So they may know better than you do. So we, since we're working with integrations with Concur team, with single sign-on organizations, so we're actually leveraged help from many colleagues, and this involved them in this. Sometimes we call game, so they were excited to help and support, and then you get more knowledge than you can have in your limited organization. Braking system. So Nasdaq, we actually, when go live during UAT, we ran over 200 tests. And we have quite a number of volunteers from different organizations who wanted to participate, which was great. Also, Nasdaq is a fintech company, so we have a number of developers, of testers, who basically consider their honor to break the system. At some point, so they tried. We may say they tried, but I don't remember anything from these 2 years back, so probably there was nothing much to tell. And talking about benefits, so I probably will keep to read you through this yourself. But just after 2 years, I can say that we achieved all the goals what we had initially, and achieved more what we planned initially. And they basically comply with these requirements, what we raised at the beginning. For future clients, or for fresh clients, or for soon-to-be clients, what we can recommend. So communicate effectively. This is the very important part. say what you want, repeat again, show example, and talk through that again if it makes sense, because can be so many misunderstandings that you can't imagine. Monitor and track progress regularly. So we had. This was already mentioned, that we used to register all the tasks, all the bugs, and this was helping us for the future. Involve other teams and use relevant skill set, and invest time and dream big. So really invest your time. If you really want to have a powerful tool, you need to devote time to think through that. Tool will not be made by others. It's your tool. You need to think through that, through every tiny moment, and if needed, to think through this again. So, like after 2 years, we may say that we are not there yet. We keep monitoring, we look for the market trends. On the time reporting, we compare a tool with other tools, what we have globally in our country. So, like lean philosophy says, today is the worst day. So tomorrow it is. So it can be only better. So we think, we dream, and a group is here for us. Thank you. Yes, please.
Thank you for your wonderful presentation. You had a slide that A group never said no to you. I don't want.
And I actually wanted to dedicate that to Yuri, actually.
Yeah, I know we need to put some nymph on top of his hand, but. Yeah, exactly. The question is, I'm trying to be serious and not to comment myself. Do you think that it's really a good idea, that it's a good case that A group never said no to you? Would it be beneficial for you as a customer if a vendor would say you that it's probably not the best idea from the very beginning and not to waste your time and efforts? Demonstrating flexibility of the system and the ability to implement whatever you dream about?
That's a great question, Alexander, and probably depends on which stage you would ever ask this question. I mean, like when we have gone through that and we landed on that these ideas were captured and implemented and we ended up in a great result. So I say I don't like to being stopped dreaming at the beginning. So that's not a good idea. I don't know, for someone who wants to go in the very straight, model, very basic model, maybe would like to hear such examples. For us, we like to dream and we like to customize. We like to hear employees, and it was customized for us. So for us, we're happy that we were not stopped at that moment.